Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all of you all across the world. Welcome to Build Exclusively with Antonio T. Smith Jr. Glad to have each and every one of you on the call on today. Today is June 28th, 2023, as of this recording. It is Wednesday. So happy Wednesday, Wellness Wednesday, Wonderful Wednesday, all of that, okay? Wealth Wednesday, all of that. So whatever kind of Wednesday you have, make sure you put something good in front of it, okay? All right. Well, we are excited as always. And I'm about to hand it over to the man, the myth, the legend, all the way from G-Town, Galveston, Texas. I'm trying not to sing the song because Shaka Khan Through the Fire is on right now, and I'm trying not to sing. So I'm trying to introduce this gentleman.
Sing it, girl.
Even through the fire. All right,
That's
so here we go.
Kanye West song.
I knew you was about to do it.
Kanye West song.
I knew you was about to say that. Kanye West song. All the way from G-Town, Texas, the millionaire and billionaire maker, innovator, and creator, the founder and CEO of Density 6 ATSJR companies. A lot of companies, okay? Those are just two to name a few. Mr. Antonio T. Smith Jr.
All right, thank you so much. Today's class is called Timing. We're going to talk about the customer segmentation I told you about yesterday. Timing. I need you to split up customers into 4 groups. Write this down real quick. Seekers, believers, workers, and disciples. I will come back and give great explanation. We are still in the Tracy series. Seekers, believers, workers, disciples. Seekers, believers, workers, disciples. Today's meeting is called Timing, and you will see why here in a moment. Pay very close attention, and it's going to make sense.
When I was younger, I was
There we go.
the best things in life takes time. When I was younger, I was impatient because I had the naivety of thinking that dreams would come quickly. But the best things in life take time. From simple things like food, preparation, to more complicated issues of parenting and marriage, the best things in life take time. You can get married, you can have a wedding in 30 minutes, but it takes years to have a marriage. The best things in life take what? It is a sharp contrast between being rich and being wealthy. You can hit the lottery, receive an inheritance, and you can be rich quick. Though many define wealth differently than how I will today, true wealth isn't just about money, but it is about the lessons you learn while struggling upward. If you have money without wisdom, you will soon be parted from your money. The best things in life take time. Takes relationships. You've got the money, but because it was given to you quickly, you didn't build the infrastructure to sustain it. You don't have the relationships to sustain it. You don't have the information to sustain it. And most people who hit the lottery, 70 to 80% of them go broke within 5 years. You can't imagine that you could hit that much money and lose it, but the truth of the matter is, God is teaching us that the best things in life take time. There are things that you learn from struggling. There are things that you learn from tests and trials and trial and error. Some of my best teachers were failure. It takes time to do well. It takes even longer to be well. Because if we thought about it, we would understand that some people are seasonal. Some relationships are seasonal. Some opportunities are seasonal. And yet when we see the seasons change, we think the blessing has ceased. But it is not that the blessing has ceased, it is that the season has changed. There's a great deal, I got a lot of trees in my yard. There's a great deal of difference between how my yard looks in the spring and how it looks in the fall. And by the time it gets to winter, quite frankly, the trees are ugly and barren and destitute. And if you came in the winter and saw it, you would have no idea of how beautiful it would be if it takes time. Do you know the difference in your life? The difference between knowing when to plant and when to pluck. Have you ever asked God, maybe you've asked him when to plant, but have you ever asked him when to pluck up? Or are you intent on keeping that which is planted to the destruction of plucking up that which you have become accustomed to? You can't have a new season until you are willing to say goodbye to the season you had. I call it the art of letting go, the spirit of release, not wrestling, releasing. Some of you are wrestling to hold on to something that God is trying to take away from you, and you need to release it and simply let it go. That was that season. When I was a child, I thought as a child, I spake as a child, I understood as a child, but when I became a man, I had to let go of childish things, childish thinking. I thought as a child, I spake as a child, I understood as a child. If you are still talking the way you were talking 10 years ago, I've got bad news for you. You have a deformity, a spiritual dysfunction that keeps your thoughts in one dimension. That means you can't fall in love with your thoughts. I want all the stubborn people to say amen. Because if you are stubborn with your thoughts, you delay your next season. I have watched some of the greatest people in every industry you can imagine. I've had the privilege of having relationships with people who were at the top of their game in just about every industry you can imagine. Those that leave the greatest impact understand timing. You can have the right swing, but if you swing at the wrong time, you won't have the impact that you should have had. Some of you are trying to do the right swing, but you're swinging at the wrong time. You're in such a hurry that you're swinging before the ball can strike the target, because you are more moved by the crowd than you are by the ball. Timing is everything. It's not can you speak a message, can you use timing to convey information. You can give great information out of time and be an incompetent speaker because you don't understand timing. Everything is a rhythm. Everything is a rhythm. God is telling us over and over and over in nature, in creation, in procreation, that timing is everything. You can't be fruitful out of season. Help me with my timing. You can be right about what you said, but wrong about when you said it, and do more damage than you did good. It's not about right and wrong, it's about timing. Right information delivered at the wrong time can tear a marriage up, can cause a child to feel defeated, can stop a loan from going through, can stop the house from being built, can stop you from having the peace you ought to have. You're worried about being right. You need to be worried about timing, 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 time. Timing is everything. You have to do things at the right time, or you're not going to have the effect that you would have had, because you don't understand timing. Because timing is what? Timing is what? Wake up. Timing is what? Wake up. Timing is what? Timing is absolutely everything. I've given this illustration before, but I want to paint it again for you that have not heard it. Harlan Sanders built an amazing business because he did the right thing at the right time. KFC came at a time in the American history that women had just started to go to work. It came at a time in history that families were still sitting around the table. It solved the problem. How can we simulate a family dinner without the woman being home to cook? Doing the right thing at the right time. It wasn't just about the chicken is good. It was that the need was great. It solved the problem and it came at the right. Success is as much about timing as it is about anything else. Do you know what time it is in your life? Is it time to put away childish things? I can only be fruitful in my season. The Bible said you shall bring forth fruit in your season. Your leaf shall not wither, and whatsoever you do shall prosper. You have to know when it's your season, and you have to know when it's over. It's all about timing. Oh, talk to me. It's all about timing. Timing is everything. In the time of harvest, you can separate one thing from another, but you cannot be tricked to aborting your promise. God has something in store for you, or you would be buried. You are alive. Stop complaining. Everybody who believes it and receives it, give God praise right now.
Today we're talking about timing. I think I
Watch
said
it.
that earlier. Yes.
Watch it.
We are talking about timing.
Renee about to run around that kitchen, okay?
Yes. We are talking about timing, and you're going to need this information. I gave it to you earlier. There are 4 types of customers. There are seekers, believers, workers, and disciples. Seekers, believers, workers, and disciples. I also told you earlier before that video that we're still in the Tracy series, and we are going to talk about customer segmentation, but I need you to get that I got here because of timing with all 4 of those customers. I'll say it again, and then I want to tell you 2 stories with practical application. I could have told Jerome to follow me. I did no such thing. I could have seized the opportunity when I heard Jerome had said, I don't know what he's selling, but I want it. See, I didn't see that interaction, but you could bet your bottom dollar the moment he turned his back and got out of earshot, they came to me and said, hey, that guy over there, he just got it. Don't even know what he got. I did not seize the opportunity to make Jerome a customer because the timing wasn't right. So 2 days later, walking by on my way out the door, feet hurting, tired, very glad that the entire ordeal was over, I remembered Jerome. And before we caught eye contact, I walked up to Jerome, actually walked past Jerome and said, what am I doing? Let me go back. How can I help you? Timing. Had it been a moment sooner, had I left, the question would not have been genuine. Timing. So I'm going to tell you 2 stories. This is customer segmentation. You have a lot of notes in these stories. The first thing I just did is I work with this celebrity. Actually, I work for this celebrity at this point because I'm always working for free. Timing. They used to pay me well, but I do all the things now for free. And let me tell you, Phil, it's a lot. It's a whole lot. And I have no problem with it because we have a deal. Timing. Even in the celebrities' death, I'm still gonna cash in. Hopefully they die 1,000 years from now, but it doesn't matter. Timing. So I just produced 50 commercials for this celebrity. So if they're doing commercials, you get the point. Absolutely celebrity. A-list celebrity, by the way. And I just produced 60 commercials for this particular celebrity, transformational commercials. Look at them as short videos because they're not commercials, so 5-6 minute videos. 60 of them. And I just emailed them off this morning, but I told them Friday I would get it done. Well, Friday I was busy. Saturday I was busy. And after 48 hours of not hearing from me, I beat them to the punch and text Sunday timing. I ain't forgot. I had to finish up one of my books and writing commercials, short videos, and writing a book don't jive together. 2 different mindsets, plus I can only write one thing at a time. So I told them Sunday that you'll get it ASAP, and they did. At some point, I will cash in, and they know it. And they want me to cash in, and they know it. But what I have is unlimited access to all their resources, relationships, and partnerships. See, the timing of this particular friend is not about cash, because if I got the cash, I wouldn't have the partnerships. They're big partnerships. I wouldn't have the relationships. They're big relationships. And I most certainly, under no circumstances, would have unlimited access to their resources. Timing. There is a time for cash. But if you look at your seekers, see what I'm doing now? As cash opportunities, you will lose them. See, the whole time I was on subject, Grace, the whole time, just write that down. If you look at your seekers as cash transactions, if you attempt to get your seekers into a cash transaction, you will lose them. And by chance, if some of them pay, it would be harder for you to convert them into a believer in your organization. They will believe that the product benefits them, but they won't believe that Adonia Dixon Media Enterprises barbershop is for her. Tracy, this is not about exchanging cash. This is about making sure their cash fuels your economy. I'll give you an example, not my second story, but an example to prove this point. Starbucks had good timing. You have no loyalty to Folgers, no matter how much Deanna claims she does. Well, I love Folgers. You love Folgers because your coffee pot does not have Starbucks brewing capability. But when Deanna wants to relax, it is Starbucks. When she wants to treat herself, it is Starbucks. When she wants to splurge, Tracy said her too, it is Starbucks. Timing. Starbucks may be one of the only few places that I know, Jerome, that you can stay inside for 10 hours, never spend a dime, and don't nobody bother you.
And they get on my everlasting nerve when I was a manager there.
See, there you go. There you go. Timing. To conclude my story number one, this celebrity, if I wanted to, when I published, or when Melissa published United Cities of Solaria, they offered extreme help and outreach to famous people and other stuff. I gotta be careful because I don't want to name drop here. I said, great, but I haven't seized that opportunity yet because I was still working on Rhino Leg. So I haven't even begun to promote my book. No worries though, Tracy, because a book lasts forever. Because soon as I start promoting, it's day one for me. You're going to get all this promotion. And in 20 years from now, I'm still going to promote it like it's new. Because it's going to be new to somebody else. It's going to be new to the day. For all you authors, if you have a book, don't stop promoting it. Each day is a new book, a new people. That book has not seen the air of that day. That's new oxygen. Promote your book. I have unlimited access to this person's A-list. They know Grant Cardone. They know, I better stop. They know. Some of y'all smart. If I keep saying people will be like, wonder, blah, blah, blah. The second story is a bit more personal. Me and Deanna went to go see my pater. It's pater. That's Greek for father. We went to go see my father in prison Saturday, all day. It was an 8-hour event, 6-hour event, whatever it was, like 12 to 6, 12 to 8. It was graduation. They've been doing a seminary program, Jerome, for the last 2 years, 3 years. And he graduated. He's the first ever graduating class. They've been running. Oh, well, thank you. Yes, he graduated. All these hours of seminary. Now he's in a higher version of it. So he's going through that. And it was a big deal. And it was 14 other of his colleagues with him. And they are a test program in all of Texas. They were the first. And then I think there's a few more in Texas. 24 more now. But they used them first. And now it's 24 more now. And it's 25 different prisons. They were the pilot prison. And my dad is the second class of that pilot prison. And this lady who had a very strong accent, it was mixed up though, because I'm listening to it. I'm like, she's not Nigerian. It's not Ghanaian. It's definitely African. She's from South Africa, and she said it, but she was raised in London. And then it was some other place. See, South Africa, South Africa, went to Cameroon and raised in London. So her accent is all over the place, Phil. It's just an accent. We don't know what it is. It's a mixture between English accent and the African accent. And if I tell you, this lady preached a whole sermon for the keynote, for the commencement speech, and I remember every word, but in her sermon, if I tell you everybody disappeared out the room and it was just me, her, and God, you ever had one of those, Jerome? Yo, you know what I'm talking about, Tracy. You know what I'm talking about, Renee. When it's just the word is for you. You understand,
Yeah.
Renee? Okay.
Mhm.
Yes.
I'm with you. Yes.
Completely for you. Ain't nobody else does no more. And I'm glad they got it.
Like
But it was
TD
for me.
and today, like TD
Yeah,
and today. Go on.
exactly. And time slowed down. And I leaned over to Deanna and I said, that was for me. That was for me. In the middle of it. And she said, I said something. She was like, oh, peaks and valleys. I said, yep. Upon driving home, I gave her the full story. I said, I've been thinking about the last 3 years as a cutback season. You know, I haven't put a product out. And I have made sure, I mean, I gotta sustain it. It's not a problem. But I've been thinking about it as surrounding myself with the wrong people. That's okay. Now I'm gonna put more energy into myself and what I'm doing. That's okay. And while all these things were right, they were wrong. Because what was revealed to me in that message, the lady didn't say this, but she said this. As time slowed down, I heard audibly in my head, you are in the valley where you're supposed to be. Please write, Grace, 1. You are in the valley where you are supposed to be. Then came next field. Now you've been on the mountain for 20 years. And you're the one who was in the valley. 2, you've been on the mountain 20 years. 3, Grace. And you are the one who spent so much time in the valley planting those awesome seeds for you to stay on the mountain for 20 years. That's 3, Grace. It was in the valley that I planted 20 years worth of mountain seeds, mountain time. Number 4, Grace, audibly as possible. But you asking for a bigger mountain. Next one, Grace.
Watch it.
Next one, Grace. But seeds don't grow on mountaintops.
I'm in Starbucks. I can't holler like that, okay? I mean, just stop, okay?
Next one, Grace. And you cannot jump from mountaintop to mountaintop. Your legs ain't that long. Come on, Jerome. Therefore, since you're asking for a much bigger mountain, I must send you back down, you finish it, Jerome, to the valley. And this whole time, write this down, Grace. And this whole time,
You right where you supposed to be.
this whole time, Antonio, you have been in the valley of your new, bigger, 10 times more mountain. Write this down next, Grace. Your problem is you thought all valleys were the same. And last point, Grace. But every valley is connected to the mountain you're praying for. See, if
Wow, that was huge.
Do you hear me? If I went back down to the valley, I'd still have my same harvest. See, I went down to the valley, been walking through the valley of the shadow of death
Did you
until
say
I got to my other valley. Hold on, Grace. My other valley is connected to the mountain I'm now on my way up. Okay, go ahead, Grace. Go ahead.
Did you say your problem is you thought all valleys were
Right,
the same?
right. That's right. Because
Okay.
see, how could all valleys be the same when you can't put mountains that close to each other? You can't stack mountains. I mean, sometimes it look like that, but you're 1,000 miles away and you're looking at twin peaks. But if you get closer, Tracy, if you remove that 1,000 miles, you're gonna be like, man, it's way over there. So at the highest point of the valley also equals the lowest point of the mountain. Janice, the valley you in now has nothing to do with the valley you planted those seeds in to get what you got. You in a new valley because mountains ain't that close. So when Antonio started asking for world change, let's build this city now. $100 billion. That's a different ask, Jerome, from let's make ATS Junior work. Let's take care of my friends. I'm trying to help somebody down. Let me be a great speaker. I want to be a great keynoter. Tracy, these mountains pale in comparison, although it's still a mountain. Therefore, my friends, you must know that there are no gardens on mountains. Ain't no trees.
You better watch.
Ain't no oranges. Ain't no trees growing on Mount Everest. All vegetation, all protein, allowing you, all carbs, allowing you to travel up that mountain in the cold, harsh wind and the edges of that mountain come from the valley.
Today is not Thursday, sir, but you preaching.
I'm setting up believers and workers right now. That's what I'm doing. So I'm using two stories. I already gave you seekers. I'm using two. These are setting up believers and workers. How grace? Because a believer thinks that it's going to work out, but can't see what I'm explaining. Some of your customers are in a believing state, Adonia. So Adonia is going to say, it's going to work out. And they believe that. And they blindly walk with Adonia because there's something feeding their belief. These are some of the most powerful customers. If you have an organization with few believers, like customers that are blindly using your product, blindly using it, I don't know where this is going to go. I just know it's going to work out. I got to believe. I can't do nothing else. I have to look at my medical records at a glance. I have to. I just have to. I don't know why, but I have to. And Janet says, it's going to work out one day. I believe. You know how it's going to work out? Nope. Tracy go, I have no idea how I'm going to do this conference, but I believe I am. Most of your customers will be on fire so much, but have no idea how to explain why they on fire, how they on fire, and how to get to the next level. Y'all hear Jerome say it all the time. I hear Antonio, it's a gap though, because what you're explaining, I don't understand what you just said. I know it's good, but I don't understand what you just said. So in that particular category of which I was talking to Jerome, which is usually AI here, he's a believer. In other categories, he's a disciple. But when it comes to AI, and making AI be 3,000 employees for him. He's got it. Now, if I say, Jerome, how are you going to do it? I don't know. And that, my friends, will be most of your customers. And you have to treat those customers far differently than you treat seekers, workers, and disciples. Think of disciples as super fans, if you want. Grace, you can't go mountaintop to mountaintop. If you pray for a bigger blessing, you automatically got to go back down to the valley. Which leads me to the very last point, Grace. I think it's number 10, just the very last point. Valleys are not punishments.
Sir, you.
That needed to be said.
Yes, it did.
I said
Yes,
I only had 2 stories. Valleys are not punishments. They are determining how long you stay on the mountain. Because if you get to the mountain with no food enough to last a week, you only gonna be a millionaire for a week. TD Jakes said, I played this video for a reason. TD Jakes said at the very beginning of this video, that's why you see a lot of lottery winners lose their money, because they didn't stay in the valley long enough and get relationship with money, Tracy.
That's why. Remember when I told you about my grandpa and what he left me? That's why.
Yep. Some of y'all get 50,000 right now, but since you didn't spend time in the valley learning how to have $50,000 relationship, you can't last on a $50,000 mountain longer than the discipline you had and produced and planted in the valley. Oh, I'm trying to say something. I'm trying to. Is this?
So what you're saying is you got to prepare yourself for this mountain. For how long you gonna stay on this mountain?
Right. Valleys are not punishments. They are praise and preparation.
Listen, I ain't said that in a long time, but that's a word. A word.
Wait. Hold on. Wait. Don't say another word right now. I don't know if anybody caught what he just said before Adrian said that was a word. He said they are just praise in preparation.
That's what valleys are.
Watch yourself.
That's what valleys are. Because if you don't praise while you planting those seeds, you're going to plant poison. And if you plant seeds, whatever comes out the valley is what you putting in your bag and eating on in the mountain. Why? Because no matter how good your God is, no matter how good Human Consultants is, no matter how good ATS is, we cannot be on the top and stay on the top because there's no planting and reaping on the top. What we call the top is a side effect, a result of the valley. As the valley is the as the mountain is the harvest of the valley, the opposite is also true. If down is the harvest to up, then up is the harvest to down. This is why you cannot plant seeds on a mountaintop, because it is scientifically impossible, because this universe is designed for you to always go back to the valley and prepare, plant, nurture those seeds so they can sustain you on top. Can you imagine if we lived in a world to where Phil can get to the top and then plant a garden on the top? He would never come see anybody. What's the point? If you can get to the top, live on the top, produce on the top, then what's the point of dealing with you little peasants? There's no point.
I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm gonna mess with Prophet J. He gonna ask for this record right now so he can repreach all this.
It's all his. All his. Now, let's break this into Tracy's customer segmentation. I'm gonna give you now, Tracy, the mentality of each customer, tell you what they look like in real life, tell you what they look like in ATS. And then I'm gonna also throw you a curveball and let you know while Jerome is a disciple. Oh, there's no doubt about it. While Phil, Susan are disciples, there's no doubt about it. If you release a product that they can't disciple in, you start the cycle back over with them.
Wait,
Sometimes,
repeat
yeah,
that.
if you release a product that, like AI, for instance, all of y'all had to go back to being seekers. I'm looking for a solution. Hold on. And I'm going to give you that mindset. See, you didn't stop being a disciple, but with this new product, you had to restart this evolution all over again. Because this is somewhere you didn't belong. You're there now, which means you got off the mountaintop. And then Susan had to go back to the valley and learn how to prompt engineer. You don't learn how to prompt engineer on the top. It's at the bottom. You go, that didn't work out. And then down you put it in again. This is the same answer. Now, I've been doing a whole hour getting the same answers. When this thing gonna stop? And then one day she started getting different answers and different answers and different answers. That's going her from seeker to believer. Okay. And how many of you know when you get you a good prompt, you believe in that prompt, don't you? Let me say that. I'm saving the hell out of this prompt.
Got a lot of same prompts.
Put it in my notes. I'm gonna put it in my Word documents. I'm gonna put it in my heart and write it in my mind like the 10 Commandments. I'm not letting this go. Right. That's believer stage, not worker stage, and then not disciple stage. When you're a disciple in an area, you are a walking prompt. You can it doesn't matter. You can make the prompts up. It doesn't matter when you're a disciple. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about right now. Tracy, you got all 4 of these customers in your organization. I promise you, when you sent emails, you did not send emails to all seekers, all believers, all workers, and all disciples. It was a mixture. And if you think you can talk to a seeker the same way you talk to Jerome, you are wrong.
Sir,
Mm-hmm.
have you defined
I'm about to do it right now.
who workers and disciples are? Okay.
Oh yeah, I'm about to do it
I
right.
want to make sure I didn't miss it. I got to put it in the notes.
Yeah, I'm about to do it right now. I didn't play TD Jakes for nothing. I didn't tell you those 2 stories for nothing. They all tell you about the timing that you must deal with each one of these customers. And we have to manipulate this timing by product. Here is the best way to reach seekers. Produce a lot of content. Because you know what seekers are going to do? See, they like, how many of you, my hands up first, something changed in your life or whatever it is, and internally you hurt, you hungry, but don't nobody know it but you. Come on, by show of hands. When you seeking, that's an internal thing. Do you understand? I don't know if I'm too embarrassed to say something out loud, too pissed off to say something out loud, too focused. I'm not sure what it is. Maybe it's all of them. But seekers, Janice, you'd never see them. These are the people. You got 5,000 views, 16 likes. That's a lot of seekers.
What we talked about yesterday.
What we talked about yesterday. Somebody replayed your video 18 times. Ain't said a word, Tracy. You ain't gonna never hear from them. Those are seekers. Seekers only show up. Y'all ready? to church, just use that as an example, one or two ways, Fit, but three ways, one or three ways. Way number one, you gonna get your butt over here right now. I don't care. Some of y'all are drug church members, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah, get your butt over here. Some people are drug into your organization, Tracy. This conference cost this, you come into. No, don't fool me now. You come into. Secondly, it's a holiday, Mother's Day, Christmas, and Easter. I mean, she got Beyonce at her conference, so I'm gonna just go there. Yeah, that's Mother's Day, Christmas, or Easter. These folk don't like you, Susan. They like Mother's Day, Easter, Christmas. And guess where you can find the Mother's Day, Easter, and Christmas folk in your customer organization? On your personal page. On your personal page. Let one of your relatives die. I'm so sorry, Renee. You ain't heard from them in 4 years. Come on now, don't fool me out. Yeah, that death was Mother's Day. I'm now obligated to show up. I'm not buying from you though. Keep in mind, I went to church. I ain't giving no damn money. I'm saving my money for Lubies afterwards. I don't know if y'all got Lubies around. I'm not sure, but you know, my Houston folk got it. You know, I don't. I'm not. No, Mama came here to take you. I'm already about to spend $300. I'm not fit. Nope. Don't ask me. I'm here, ain't I? Now I bought this new suit. And I rent. See, just because I showed up, see, I'm a seeker. Listen to me, y'all. Seekers do not give. So what's a seeker? A seeker, Grace, is somebody who wants change. Something has happened, and now they want change. And they're not looking for you. They're looking for their situation to change. Period. You, as great as you think you are, Antonio, they don't care about you. They care about, I can't do this no more. And can anybody relate to that? I can't do this no more. I can't. God, you got to do something. Kill this situation or kill me, but something got to change. Okay, go ahead, Tracy.
So, okay, you said they want change after something has happened, but they aren't looking for whoever that person is that they're listening to. They just want the situation to change, but they don't really want to do anything about
I said
the situation changing.
No, I said give. They don't want to give. They want to do something about it, but they don't have the maturity. They don't have the education. They don't have the knowledge. They don't have the resources. They don't have the relationships. They're looking for a new place. How many times I heard somebody come in and say, man, I've been looking for a community like this for a long time. That was a seeker looking for something. And when you're looking for something, Tracy, you don't even know what it is. You just know it when you feel it. You know, when you get there, yeah, it matches. It answers questions you didn't even know you had. And Antonio will tell you, typically what you seeking does not look like what you thought it was going to look like. I can assure you, half the people here, it's like, oh, I never would have thought of Antonio ever. Never. Wouldn't even thought of it. Would have never thought of it. Would have never thought of it. So when I said, and try not to make that mistake, when I said they don't give, I didn't say they don't do what they need to do. Giving requires faith. When you're seeking, you don't have faith.
Watch it.
And here's the deal. Don't think a disciple can get burnt enough not to drop back down to being a seeker in your organization. You better ask me and Adonia. We know how to get burnt. How about that?
Did you name the third way, sir? Okay. Making sure I didn't miss.
Let me ask a question real quick,
Yep.
because you're really talking right now. Like, I have to actually give you credit for this. This is really good.
Thank
But,
you.
but here's what I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong.
Mhm.
I believe there's a time and a place, meaning
Good
I
point.
think I'm on a roller coaster ride. I
Yep.
see, and I go from one to the next, and then I go back to the other. So
Absolutely.
and I think it may have to do with as you grow,
Yep.
you kind of start all over again. I think that's what it is.
That's
Or you
100. No,
have,
you're
or
100% correct.
you hit your head on something and you hurt yourself, so you got to slow it down. But is it not considered like a cycle? You're in and out. It's not always a ascend. It's kind of up and down and zigzaggy and all the other stuff.
No, I could completely agree with you. The reason that's why I brought up Jerome. The reason why it would be a cycle for someone like you, for someone like me, because you didn't fool around, try something new. And every time I tell you try something new, she's cycling just like
True.
Antonio.
That is so true.
See, if she'd have just stuck to the one place, if she stopped praying and just be satisfied, she won't have to cycle. But that ain't how humans work, huh? That's not how first-rate people work. First-rate people always jump their butt out there in the water deeper. Hillsong got a whole song about it called Oceans. Take me with my feet. Can't tread on water no more. Right? Donia's absolutely right. It is cyclic. It is definitely a cycle for some people. That's why, and that's actually for everybody. She's absolutely right. That's why Antonio must always be paying attention to Adonia's cycle. Timing. This cycle for Adonia, Phil, Susan, Jerome, Law. This is not the cycle for discipleship for them right now. I'll break down discipleship. Just think super fans. They still are, don't get it twisted, but this is not the cycle for that. This is the cycle right now of believing. And I'll break it down. I'll break it down what believing is. I ain't got to yet. Not because they went out and tried something new. It's because the time to be giving and to be showing up until our blessings come and rooster and crook and crow and the cows come home. This is the season we in. That's not personal. Jerome, am I lying? It's not personal. I'm waiting on my return. Anybody else know what I'm talking about? And when life has forced you to wait on your return, you're a disciple. Excuse me. When life has forced you to wait on return and you do it matured, you are a disciple, but you in a believing season to push further Adonia's point. You don't stop being a disciple, but I'm not writing $1 million check right now either, though. You understand? I believe, but I'm waiting on my roosters to, hatch. Yeah, come on now. Oh, okay. The third thing, Grace. So I said, we're still talking about seekers. I said, Mother's Day, Christmas, Easter. What was the first one I said?
You get drugged to church.
You get drugged to church, or
And the CME. The CME.
the CME, or something tragic happens. You lose your house. You lose your car. Relationship. You lose your confidence. Remember, nobody is seeking anything well. Like if you're well, you're not seeking nothing. Let's try to act like the Christianity y'all actually want to have. This is the Christianity and the religion y'all want to have. Well, you know what? I'm having a good day. Let me try Islam. Huh? I'm having such a good day. I want to try Christianity. Huh? I've never. You hear me, Law? I've never. I ain't never met somebody happy as hell that want to try religion. I've never seen it, Jerome, because we don't change happy. You know what we do when we're very happy? We get superstitious. All right, if I just keep doing this over and over, I'm gonna stay this way. That's why we lose it, because you can't keep doing something over and over and get the same result. The universe don't work like that. Ebb and flow. Because while you doing something, while Tracy is going, I'm gonna just keep doing this keynote. There's another Tracy trying to pass her up. That Tracy won't Tracy audience. And I know I'm one of them. Now, I don't want her audience. I want a lot of y'all heroes audience, though. I just don't think they deserve their audience no more. I'm very vocal with that. You can sizzle not the steak all you want to. Your audience is mine. Thank you so much for having that same old mentality. I'm going to need them. Start with the paying ones first, please. Start with the paying ones first. So something tragic happens. And let me tell you something. You don't always need somebody to die to feel like you died. Fool around and make a bad investment. See if that don't feel like death. You know, can I tell you, I'd have made 2 or 3 in this past year. You know why investments that don't work out feel like death? It has nothing to do with the money. It has everything to do with, I don't know why. I should have knew better. I have never heard anybody say I should have knew better and felt good about it.
I do not like you right now. I do not like you. This is a broadcast for everybody. I do not like you right now. I'm in my feelings at this very moment.
There you go. We got the peanut gallery, what they call it, right? Amen. I'm there. I get it. I know it. And what that'll do is, in the investment category, knock you back down a seeking stage, believing stage. You're still a disciple. But to push her point, there are cycles. Okay. Grace, repeat the definition of seeker, because I'm about to give you work. I just want everybody to have it in their head.
Okay.
Actually, I'm not about to give you work. I'm about to show you what seekers look like. Go ahead.
Seekers are people that look for solutions, something has happened, and now they're looking for something to make their situation change.
All right. So in Tracy's organization, that damn ego, no doubt. In Tracy's organization, actually, Tracy, let me tell you mine, okay? And then you can just relate it to you. So I started with the Plant Better Mindset phone call. I wasn't coaching. Anyway, whatever it was, I started with that. And seekers would come, check out, but never say something. This is what happens. You go, all right, everybody, is there anybody that has questions? No, wait, first off, I didn't come here to talk. Come on now, don't fool me now. Like, one of the worst things that could ever possibly happen is, all right, this is how announcer appear. We're going to first acknowledge all our visitors. I did not come here to be acknowledged, stand, or get on your little microphone. I'm not even fit to stand. I'm not going to lie to you. There's always one of your friends, girl, stand up. Don't pressure me. I'm seeking. I didn't come here to work. I came here to seek. Okay, go ahead, Tracy.
Okay, that makes so much sense. Like at the empowerment workshop, the T,
Tell me.
that I get that. Now, as you're describing the differences, that makes so much sense, because I had the part where they had to stand up and they did the step forward, step back. And, some people were like, yeah, let me, and then some people, I didn't come up here to do anything. I came to listen. And you can hear them not. And it was like, because I had a Q&A, and And people were really like that. So I'm feeling you. Okay.
You get it, right? She was like, come on, everybody, y'all, let's stand up. And anybody in there seeking was like, I'm not gonna do that. First off, I don't trust you. I'm here for something completely different. I didn't come here to stand up. I came here to receive. When you're seeking, you don't even want to participate. Because I didn't come here to participate. That's what workers and believers do. We're going to break it down. When you're in seeking mode, you are so hurt. The idea of being cheerful is stupid. No, we can keep it real, Janice. You act like you ain't never been hurt before. And I'm not saying you just have to be hurt to be a seeker, but I am saying if you're in seeking mode, you don't trust nobody. Who know what I'm talking about? I'm seeking because I don't trust. I trusted over here. It didn't work out for me. And let me tell y'all something. Most of y'all audience, look at Renee, most of y'all audience is in the seeking mode. And let me tell you how treacherous this is. Because when you're in the seeking mode and you over 40, you damn near depressed. Can I tell you why? Because you're secretly saying, I don't know why I got to keep starting over. So why would you charge somebody who is disgusted at their place in life?
Ooh, you better make it make sense. Okay. Okay.
Today we talk about timing, don't you? You got to have timing. And the best way to reach seekers is to have a bunch of content. I didn't tell you not to charge, but I am telling you, put out content. Content is what you should have charged for, but it's free. Now what happens is they get to date you for 10 hours. They get to spend time with you. And eventually they stop hiding. And I love when they had these conversations. Is there a way I can set up a meeting? Or I get an email. Dear Mr. Smith, you don't know me, but I've been watching you for a long time. And such and such. I'm gonna see. Let me see. I'm gonna see if I can show y'all. I get these all the time. I get about once a month. Every month I get about 10 to 12 messages of somebody saying I've been watching for a long time. Can you please help? But every now and then I get a message so tough that you gotta respond to this person immediately. Like this person is at a crossroads, Jerome. You know what I'm saying? Like this personal. Like you can't ignore this message. This person, this is what it is. So I got an email June 22nd. Okay, there's nothing personal here, but his name. I have decided I'm gonna work with this man. I got a message June 22nd. I'm sorry. Yesterday was June 27th. That's a holiday around Houston, Texas.
That's it.
You know, that's a holiday around Houston, Texas.
Tracy understand.
Yes. Hey, yeah. You know, that's that anyway. Y'all don't know about that. It's June 27th. That's it.
My bad, Jamal. I didn't see you.
So look at this email real quick. Mentorship sent to me. Respected sir, I'm one of your LinkedIn connections from India. I've been following you for so long. So I'm moving to the US for my master's, this particular university. I'm in a situation where I need a mentor, and I can genuinely say that you would be the right person. I'll surrender myself, and I just want guidance, nothing else expected. Regards, blah, blah, blah. So I went to LinkedIn. I didn't even respond to the email. I went to LinkedIn and had this whole conversation. You told me where you met me at. You told me where you consume me at. Therefore, let's go, seeker, where there's no resistance. I'm teaching you something.
Real tired.
If you tell me this place is comfort for you, I'm not fit to push you in the Bible study. I told my dad to say he was shocked. I told my dad, because he got, anyway, I said, Dad, the church has ruined many of your preachers, forcing them to give a sermon in the pulpit. Yeah, I don't want to hear me. See, I'm not sure when, Susan, that the pulpit became the cornerstone of Christianity, but that ain't what your Bible say, Jerome. Your Bible say Jesus is the cornerstone.
Watch yourself.
You need to be pushing people. Okay.
He the chief cornerstone.
A chief cornerstone. I'm not sure why the moment Tracy announced her calling, I gotta make sure that rolls through the pulpit. Susan, we done messed up many of a missionary by forcing them to be preachers. Oh my God, the best sermons in the world are at halfway houses.
You know what, man? You said something there.
Okay, I'm telling him before he goes, I'm showing you, don't put a seeker in a disciple position called the first sermon. There you go. Keep going, Prophet J. I just wanted to make sure they knew that I was on topic.
In the old church that I came from, everyone, just about all the men, were announced as prophets, ministers, elders, and all that stuff. And all them young preachers that came through, they didn't last long. They did not last long. And because he put that on them, and he really didn't get into no training. And there was one that said he was just hyped on the way people, us older folks preached. He was hyped on that, but he didn't know, he wasn't taught on how to handle trials and tribulations and all that. So he went back out in the world. So you said something now.
You don't take Adonia, who, like this version of Adonia, you don't take this mature, responsible version of Adonia, have her be a workhorse for the last 35 years for one company, and then convince her that in order to start her business, she need to work as hard as herself as she did for them. Now she's got that mentality, but you know what would really be the truth? That absolutely will disgust her. Because when it comes to making her job her first client, she is a worker. Let me explain. I'm gonna jump up to worker. A worker, write this down, Grace. It won't make sense because I've skipped over believer. A worker is someone no longer seeking. They are completely 100% decided upon their destiny. You will not change their mind. They are focused and on fire. They have a written down plan, a definite purpose, and one hell of a burning desire. This worker is so enthralled with their purpose even when they want to relax, they cannot. Have the people going, that sounds just like me. Huh? They cannot relax. There's more, Grace. This worker is so on fire. They've also become a servant to like-minded people. Period. And the most important and illuminating attribute of a worker is two things. They just want to bless the organization through work, or the leader through work. That's how you tell what a worker is. You're going to end it with this statement, Grace. A worker is just happy, blessed, and grateful to be in the building. That's a worker. Now watch this here. That sounds exactly like Adonia, but not at where she is now. See, in order to tell Adonia to have all that energy for somebody else, she can't do it. And in order for Teledonia, excuse me, let me switch somebody else. In order for Adonia to have that energy for somebody else oppressing her, stopping her from her purpose, that's what I meant. She can't do it. Because she done fooled around, sought her purpose, believed in her purpose. We'll go back over believers. And now she on fire and working for herself. But see, if y'all listen to Adonia, working for herself don't mean what it means to me. That's not what Adonia trying to do. If you want to know what your dream really is, monitor what hurts you. Yeah, monitor what hurts you.
Did you just say something?
I sure did. If you want to know what controls you, monitor what hurts you. Both of these things are equally true, two ends of this spectrum.
Give me an example, sir.
I got you. I'll start with the control you first, because that's going to apply to everybody. If it hurts you, it controls you. Why? Because there's some underlying issues there that you're trying to avoid. They're hitting triggers, and you're saying things like, this is not my life and how it's supposed to go. That's the only reason things hurt you. Don't nothing hurt you that you accept and like. It hurts because you, in your worldview, said this ain't what it's supposed to happen. The only way to be hurt is when the picture in your mind don't match the picture in your hand. Come on now. Like, I see it this way, but I'm getting it this way. Got me messed up. Who are you talking to? Because how I see how you're supposed to talk to me in my head is this way, Antonio. So now I got to cuss you all the way out until you conform back to the picture in my head. That's that. Same thing, I've been in the spectrum. But if you want to know what your dreams are, different in the spectrum, not Grace. Monitor what hurts you. Adonia and Antonio keep telling y'all what our dream is. I don't know if you hear, but we got to say dream because I actively listen. Adonia don't care about no business. No. It's a side effect of what she cares about. Adonia, when I finish, unmute your mic and see if, let them know if I'm right or wrong. It's a side effect.
You don't even have to finish. Sorry, I interrupted you.
No,
so
you're good.
Can't finish. But you don't even need to finish. I'm sitting here, I don't know, I'm feeling some kind of way right now. It's because, yeah. I mean, just take a deep breath. Yeah, yeah. What you said, I'm just gonna say
I
that.
think that just take a deep breath was supposed to be in your head. I think you meant to say that part of your head. I think me and Adele, you keep telling y'all what our dream is: to do nothing on our terms while our money multiplies. We keep telling you. What'd you say, Grace?
That's my dream too. I was just finna text D and say, man, I gotta go find out what my dream is. You just said it.
All I want to do is write for a living. I don't know what it is for Adonia, but I promise you, business is not what she's trying to do. Maybe all she wants to do is just conference for a living. Me and Adonia have the same goal: create this river of greenbacks so we don't have to have responsibility no more. Am I lying, Adonia?
No, but I do want responsibility. But you're not lying
Fair
at
enough.
all. You're on point. I want
Fair
to
enough.
do what I want to do when I want to do it,
That's right.
and then I want to go where I want to go and not have to worry about I
There you
have
go.
to do. You know what I mean? It's the freedom of movement. I
Right.
do want to be helpful to people, but when I want to be helpful to people, not because I have to be. Does that make sense?
Right.
I mean,
Absolutely.
it's
So
part
you
of
don't
my
want
DNA, but I don't
clients.
I have to do. When I have to do
Absolutely.
it now, it's a job. It's labor
And-
intensive.
And she is done with jobs no different than I'm done with clients. Timing. Clients are jobs. Anytime you accept somebody money, they own you. You're their slave. Anytime you trade time for money, they own you. You're their slave. They are the same thing. They are the same thing. A worker, I'm just finding workers now. A worker is all that I said, Grace. And you cannot demotivate a worker. It's impossible. They have this own internal compass going on that they see where they going so much, they can't help but share. Phil, you need something over there? I got you. Workers stay in overflow because their purpose, and every day, I tell you get closer to that purpose, it's every day she want to help somebody else. Workers, now you say things feel like the 80-20 rule. This is the 20. Workers are the 20. Workers are the 20. Seekers are 75%, 60, 75%. Disciples are somewhere like 3%. Your organization, if you got 10% disciples in your organization, you are doing phenomenally. You're building Apple Computing Company. You're doing a great job. Jesus had 12 disciples. It was a bunch of them, but he had 12, and they weren't disciples. They didn't become disciples till he died. Let's keep it real. They was knuckleheads. Hit Peter, James, John. So out of the 12, Grace, we know the math, but if you reduce 12 by 3, it comes to what percentage, Grace?
Reduce 12 by 3. A fourth. 25%.
A fourth. 25% of Jesus' disciples were actually Jesus' disciples while he was living. Just so we're clear. So let's lift that up. If you got 25% disciples, you're doing good. You still gonna die. You still gonna get crucified. That's just part of the process. But you're doing good. All right. Back up now, Grace. A believer. A believer is somebody. I'm sorry. I left something out of worker. My bad. I left something out of working. It's very important. This is very, 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 very most importantly important, Tracy. If you disconnect, if your internet cut off, if you die, catch this and get it next lifetime. Workers give, period. You do not have to do anything to a worker for them to give, but cast a vision. If you explain it well and tell the worker how it benefits them, they will convert easily. Giving for a worker comes in one or two ways. They give money if they're able, or if their harvest ain't caught up with them, they'll pull you to the side privately. Susie, I don't have that, but what I do have, I give everything to you. And you ain't got to do nothing for me. So the guy email, I'm not even expecting nothing. Just mentorship. I don't expect nothing. That's a worker. Y'all hear me? That's a worker. He told you he was a worker. So you say, Antonio says, Susan, I ain't got it. I ain't got the 25,000, but what I do have is I work for free. I will bring you in $75,000. And then maybe at that point we could talk about if I can join your course. Since I'm asking, and I know what I'm asking, so I'm asking for membership for me, may I go get 2 people for you, and then a third one for me. And of course, you've been food to turn that deal now. You want to be free labor to give me 75,000? I ain't got a problem with that. I ain't a problem with that at all. That's a worker. So a worker is going to either give with money or give with presence. ENCE, presence. Like, yeah, not presents. Not gifts. They're going to give with their presence. I forgot that, because this is what we're talking about. How to convert these customers, Tracy. It is workers that are your residual income. It's workers that's your predictable revenue. It is not seekers. Seekers do not give. They don't trust. And they didn't come here to trust. And to be honest with you, Janice, it's not malicious. They're not in a season of trust. They're in a season of confusion. If I am seeking, I am confused. The only thing I'm not confused about is I don't want to be here no more. How dare you charge someone who is confused? So this is why y'all work so hard. And we got so many sales tips of how to overcome objections. It's unnecessary, to be honest with you, Phil. Phil has a really good thing. Phil, do me a favor and say it. You say selling is a mutual wine partnership between, I'm messing this all up, but it's something. You say something smart.
Thought you'd get it by now.
Yeah, I suck at quotes.
Selling is communicating in a way to produce a mutually agreed upon response that's best for all parties. Because it's the relationship that's sacred, not the transaction.
Beautiful. That's beautiful. Mutual agreements. All parties. The relationship is sacred. Seekers don't have nothing sacred but their confusion. If you want to convert seekers, you need free trials. You want to taste this meat in Costco's? We'll be serving it over there in an hour. This is why this exists. This is why it exists. This is why free trials exist. This is why I told y'all that when Rhino come out, I probably won't have a free trial. I might, because I'm not really looking for seekers right now. I'm looking for an immediate transfer of income for me, Phil, Susan, Adonia. We do that later. In the meantime, let's just boom first. Say that. I'm free. I got you, Grace. Seekers are a large chunk of your organization, Adonia. And when you get seekers in your organization, they're all over the place. Ignorance on fire, passion, underwhelmed and overwhelmed. And you have to treat them with the timing that is according to them. Go ahead, Phil.
Yeah, and the free movement is new. Because me growing up, the saying was, there ain't no free lunch.
No,
If
that's
somebody
right.
gives you something free, your antennas are up. Now, what changed that? Anybody, you want to guess what changed that? What was the one thing that changed that whole concept? Anybody want to guess?
Netflix.
Maybe. You know, I have abandonment issues. I have trouble saying no to people. Maybe. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
AOL.
That's right.
How many discs, free discs, did AOL send out? You get tons of them. Free.
You're right. A big old silver disc with them blue letters. We all recognized them. All of us. They was in dentist offices too. Did y'all see them? We remember it used to be, we don't do this no more. We used to go to the dentist office and have National Geographic magazines and Time magazines, and we used to pick, oh my God, and the TV guide, and we used to sort through them and make sure, oh, this is the most recent TV guide. You know, we open it up and we go, okay, I'm gonna watch that. That's good. That's so old. Y'all don't know about that. That's so old. That's, you know, I'm showing Tracy age now. You know, I'm not gonna say my age. I'm gonna say Tracy age. I'm showing her age. You know, sit down at the dentist room and just go through all the books while you're waiting. Now we just jump on our phone. You know, jump on our phone. Seekers are confused, but they're not confused maliciously. Don't think of this. Don't feel. I don't know. Don't feel bad for seekers, and also don't be irritated by seekers, because they are your organization. They have their purpose, and you could be like, and you can do whatever you want to do. You can say, you could be like Bentley. Bentley seemingly has no seekers, no believers, no workers, just disciples, because they don't advertise. You know, it's in the Bentley commercial, but that's not the truth. Bentley understands the same thing Steve Jobs understood. Steve Jobs, when the AirBook first came out, when he lifted it up, he at first the Apple logo was, when you close it, it was for Tracy to see the wonderful logo. It's the same thing I would have did. Steve Jobs did something that I wouldn't have done. I'm glad he did it, because now I think like this. He walked somewhere, I can't remember what, Starbucks or something, and he saw a bunch of upside down logos. And he's recognizing that people who don't have a Mac need to be looking at the logo, not the people who bought the Mac. So he flipped that logo upside down. Now, when you open it up, that little light come on, and it's genuinely automatic branding, as Deanna said, planting seeds. That's how Bentley has seekers, because every rapper out here right now trying to get a deal. I'm gonna get me a Bentley one day.
Give me a Bentley truck.
And I just rappers, right? I was just making fun. Everybody who does not have a Bentley, who wants class and prestige and clout, is saying, I'm gonna get me a Bentley one day. That's their organization. Those are the seekers in the organization. So you can have your price point so high to where people can't get into you. They have to graduate to discipleship just to buy from you. I like that idea. I'm doing it now. That's why I refuse to release a product right now, because every product that I can think of, Jerome, that I don't build with my hands, puts me back in clientele. And I would rather die. I don't mean to be dramatic, and I don't mean to speak evil over myself, but hear what I'm saying in the completion of what I'm saying. It's not that I would rather die before I have another client. No, that's not the case. The case is, Tracy, I'm done. And I would rather die than go back to something I'm done with. Now, I mean that. I mean that. All right, get you another client. All right, that's fine. Go back, Antonio, to all them feelings you done graduated from. I'm good. I'll suffer. I'll struggle. I'll struggle before I go back to what I prayed to leave.
Okay. Okay. See, I was quiet, but you know what? Okay. Help Sandra. Lucky. Help me right there. Right
Okay, I
there
get
where
you.
you
Then I
at,
begin
right
Jamal.
there.
Then I begin Grace. Mhm.
Now, is that the valley for you?
Absolutely.
Is
That's
that
valid stuff.
going back the valley? Now give me that view
I got you.
that you were talking about earlier and why it is unnecessary and why it rubs you to the point of where you can stand in your solidness and say, I am never going back to the valley. Even though the valley has taught you what it has taught you and you have gained and you have
I get
torn
what
that
you're saying.
mountain because of being in the valley.
Okay, I see
Thank
your.
you. Give me
Yes,
that.
yes, I see your confusion. Okay,
because this is what seekers look for.
Yes, I see your confusion.
I don't know how to trans.
Yes, no, I got you. That's a blessed question you asked. I miscommunicated. Allow me to communicate a little bit better. You can't avoid valleys, but the same garden that I done sold off and gave to somebody else, the valley that no longer produces fruit for me, that's what I'm not going back to. I got to go back to the valley. Now, every now and then I could choose a different valley because I got a different mountain. But on your journey for decades, you might go back to the same valley, plant seeds, so you can go back to the mountaintop. But I'm not going back to the same barren garden. So, Sandra, when you hear me saying I'm abandoning the valley, not the valley, that garden that didn't produce me no fruit, I'm not going back there. So we got to pick that whole ground up, flip it upside down, tilt it. We got to do something. Got to plant some tulips, just lose for a whole season and let them tulips re-nurture that ground, because that's what they do. Because if you keep, and I don't know if y'all know this, but if you keep reaping a harvest, you will kill that ground. So farmers will have like big 4 squares and they farm on 3 of them and they put tulips on 1 of them, because the tulips got these nutrients. So as they grow and then die, it's feeding nutrients to the ground and then they rotate. Yeah, farmers never use 100% of their crop or 100% of their field, because if you reap 100% of your harvest every time, at some point you will become rocky soil. It's just nature. Sandra asked a blessed question. You hear me? A blessed question. Go ahead, Jamal, because you're in the car, so I picked you over Grace.
Yeah. So I was thinking about a story about those soccer guys that crashed in the Andes Mountains, and they had they were lost pretty much. They had to start eating each other to stay alive. And then 2 of the guys realized, okay, somebody got to get out of here and go find the rest of the people. So, or find some kind of help.
Yeah.
So they started climbing the mountain that was close to them. They got over that mountain. They went down to the valley. And as they were climbing the second mountain, they were thinking that we're done. And then they got to the top of the second mountain and realized they had 1 more mountain to go. They were like, I don't know what we're going to do. So they got pieces of meat from, people they cut, they cutting off thigh pieces and arm pieces. And they got this meat in these socks and their pants and all this stuff that's frozen. They just biting pieces of meat. I know this is a grisly story, but stick with me. So when they got to the last peak, and they didn't climb not 2 mountains now, they got to the last mountain, they could see the green pasture down at the bottom where there was some civilization, but they got to come down a whole entire mountain to get there. The analogy I want to use is the meat that they were carrying as they were coming down out of the mountain started to rot. So they almost starved to death getting to the help. They literally can see the end of the path. They could see where the salvation was, but the meat they had in their pocket that was frozen, all them other mountains ago was starting to rot, and they almost starved coming out of the mountain. And I was like, that's wild.
That is. That is. That is. There's so many preachable lessons up in there. Grace will come back real quick. The one thing I want to point out in what you said is really simple. That if you don't respect your time in the valley, you will not last long on the mountain. You just won't. You don't have the resources. Resources only come from the valley. I really, 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 really need us to stop taking valley so personal, because all blessings, hear me well, Jerome, you cannot prove this wrong. It is unscientific, unbiblical, ununiversal. All life blessings come from valleys. You experience and enjoy life blessings on the mountain. You produce them in the valley. Let's take it out of my mountain valley ebb and flow. You enjoy them in the ebb. You produce them in flow. Sorry, it just is what it is. Everybody's saying the same thing. We like to argue over different words. We really love being semantical. I watched a video of a guy. He was talking about, a lot of people, they hear Phil's argument. When he was like, congratulations, your ears work. You didn't hear a word Phil said. You just heard what he said. All you did to prove to Phil your ears work. Most people listen that way. They listen to prove their ears work. They don't understand the art of listening. So let's all practice the art of listening right now. Don't prove to me your ears work. I know you heard me. Let's practice the art of listening. All things that you're praying for, Jerome, will be given to you in the valley. You will enjoy them on the mountaintop. Experience them. But if you really want to meet God, you don't meet God on no mountain. All that Bible you got, Tracy. Moses met God on the mountain. Moses. Ishha Elohim, the son of God. That's what that means in Hebrew. Moses, one of 5 times that phrase is used in all the Torah. Hear me very well. Moses, not the people, Moses. So if you want to base your blessings on being Moses, God, so be it. For the rest of us, regular people, we got to meet him in the valley. Go ahead, Phil.
Well, what you learn in the valley is what gets you to the mountaintop.
Oh.
Nixon, the last thing Nixon said when he left the White House and got on the helicopter, he said, you have to be in the lowest valley to appreciate the highest peak. That's the last thing he said before he stepped on the helicopter to leave.
Wow. I agree 100%. Some of this stuff is hard not to agree with, but we, you know how we are. But go ahead, Grace.
You said to reach a seeker, the best way to reach a seeker is to produce a lot of content and have free trials. Is the best way to reach workers is to cast a vision?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Remember, they are already on fire. You get me? They are on fire. You don't need to convince. Adonia tell y'all this all the time. You don't need to convince Adonia of nothing. Man, what's the vision? Does it fit me? I'm in. she tell you everything. What's the vision? No, I don't like that one. I ain't personal. I'm not in that one. Let me know when you establish something I'm with. Adonia, is this correct?
Can the church say amen?
She's not into all the vision, just the vision that light her fire. That's what workers are. You don't have to convince a worker to buy from you. They on fire. Workers genuinely wake up to make sacrifices and invest in themselves. Oh. I told Melissa and Deanna, I was like, yeah, soon, because I'm really trying to get this off ground, because I really want to go over the Assembly of Wonders and just stay all my time over there. And before they asked, I was like, because you ain't got the big, mature, spiritually mature people to spend money. You don't even have to ask. Spiritually mature people spend money and volunteer. You're on the bed. All right, everybody, we're going to donate to the prisoners. Only the spiritually mature people give. That's not wrong. I'm having a conversation. Listen, every time I start that conversation now, okay, those of you who enjoy receiving blessings, because those folk understand that to receive is to give. If you're a seeker, you're doing one or two things. You're going, huh, I don't believe anything he just said. I ain't like that. I mean, he doesn't. That's just a fancy way of telling me to donate. Or you're grown, you're mature, and you're doing the opposite. Grace, we know this too well, don't we? Man, I wish I had it.
Yeah.
I'd love to give. I sure wish. And then you beat yourself up for it, Tracy.
Yep.
That's why I always come in and say, listen, y'all, your time is coming. Don't worry about it. I say it every chance I get. Your time is coming, right? Because
every now and then, he got to remind me.
it was somebody who reminded me. Reverend Oscar Gatson reminded me, and I never forgot it. That's why I do it for other people. He reminded me, 2011. I'll never forget it. He was at the University of Houston. I had my team with me, and feel I had $10. 10 people, $10. Everybody get $1 a piece. We gonna get the nuggets, But I didn't get a chance to say out loud. Reverend Oscar Gas, we was on Ignite Energy. At the time, it was called Ignite Stream Energy. He was like, "Let me pay for it," and I was like, "Oh, you don't have, no, don't worry about it. Your time coming. Your time coming. It's my time right now," and I never forgot that. Never, ever, ever. It was just Wendy's inside of the University of Houston. It wasn't like, it was just Wendy's inside the University of Houston. But I never forgot that, because it ain't always your time. If you're not going to let a donor be a donor, then why did you pray for her? I'm meddling again, Grace, my bad. I'm meddling. Can we talking about timing? I'm almost done. We're talking about timing. Can y'all see how that TD Jakes clip and timing the seekers is important? Stop charging everybody in your organization. So when Tracy, this is what Tracy does. When Tracy gonna go to her webinar, she's gonna have an upsell. Worry not. This is how you change your upsell, Tracy. You're gonna love this. She's gonna have 4 upsells now, not just 1. But they won't even look like upsells. It's gonna make her look like, oh my God, she's so wonderful. I'm gonna go through the practice, try to bullet point as much as you can, because I'm gonna get in my zone. I'm not gonna go slow, Grace, because I can't do it slow. I can't teach it and do it. 2 different parts of the brain. I need my right side of the brain, not my left side of the brain. Okay. Thank you so much. This webinar has been fantastic. Most of you are just having a good time. Some of you are so on fire that you are also having a good time. Everyone's going to leave here with something. I have a few giveaways. So I just said, oh, sorry, no, teach it. Shut up. I have a few giveaways. Since we've been talking about seekers, believers, and receivers, I have for you a full compilation audio series and a PDF document about how to convert seekers. It's 200 pages with no fluff, all about the blueprint of handling seekers. So if you or someone who trusts what I've said and know that most of your organization will be full of seekers, you are leaving here with this $145 gift just for being part of this webinar. The way you get it is wait to the very end, which is in 5 minutes. I'll give out a special email for you to contact, and we will respond with the gift. Now, there are some of you who say, that's amazing, but I want more. I want more people because I act just like that. So not only are you going to automatically get the seeker gift, but you're going to get the addition gift of the believers and the workers. And we're going to give that to you for a $5 bump. So for any of you, you're automatically going to get $145, but we're going to give you $297 of more information simply for $5. And the reason why it has the $5 is because people who pay attention. I have to charge something because I don't want to give this 75% of my gifts away for free. Because if I do that, two things happen. One, my family starves. Two, you don't pay attention while my family starves. So we don't want to do that either. And the granddaddy of them all is how to create disciples, how to know and recognize and see before people ever talk if they're seekers, believers, workers, how to categorize them, how to keep following them in your CRM, how to email them, how to email market them, how to email them for the rest of the year, and how to graduate a seeker to a believer to a worker, and a worker to a disciple. We've got over 1,000 email templates you're going to have. We also teach you how to make a post, a social media post, addressing all 4 people at one time, one person at a time. And we also have the copyright example for how to do your sales funnel pages addressing these people. This is the granddaddy of them all. And today only, as an offer, we're going to give this away for $197. This is just for the people ready to take that full step and get all of that information. Now, this costs $197. The actual value of it is $1,000, but it costs $197 simply because you have to work with me. And if you want this information, you pay for access. Don't think of this as me charging you. Think of this as if you want the law of attraction to help you, you pay for access. It's as simple as that. The other things I can give away for free because I'm not working with you there. It's written down. You do it yourself. But since you're going to do it with me, it's for the low price of $197. If you were doing it, if I were doing it for you, well, then it would be $19,700. So that's it. All of you, here's how you get the things. If you repeat, I'm sorry, stop teaching. This is how you, such a damn teacher. This is how you get everything. You're going to text 15344 to this email, and that will tell us you're looking for the seeker package. For the $5 bump, which includes the workers and believers, you are going to email workers and believers to this particular email address. It tells us what you want. And if you are somebody like me, ready to take charge, just text all right after this email, right after this presentation, leave your number, and you will get a call within 5 minutes. Thank you so much for joining my webinar. My name is Tracy D. Armstrong, and whatever her catchphrase is, you can do that. And all right, and everybody clap, y'all. For simulation, I want y'all to mute mics and clap, stuff like that, right? Bam. Okay, you get the point.
Okay, Antonio, I'm not gonna lie. For a second, I forgot you were doing this as an example, and I got excited. I'm gonna tell you why I got excited.
I got excited on a disciple part. Yeah.
Because in my head, if I can focus and do different campaigns for the different types of customers, and then break it down within that customer group what their personality type is, like lion, owl, koala, monkey. I can do my lead magnets for those seekers with the extra free content based on their personality type. So I know for a koala seeker, my content needs to be loving, carry, lovey-dovey, and available to them to do the research. If it's a lion seeker, it needs to be straightforward. If it's a monkey seeker, show them how much fun they're going to have. And if it's an owl seeker, give all of the information possible up front. You made me happy. So a part of me wants to say, I need you to teach this. And another part of me needs to say, no, go follow what he's doing now. But then I'm like, I'm gonna need you to teach me that, because you got me excited, because my brain went through a whole process. You taught us how to do lead magnets. You taught us how to create our avatars. So now if we take, because I already have the knowledge, it's just the refresher course. So we take what you've already taught us, and instead of us focusing it towards, we have our avatars, but now we have the avatar who's the seeker, the believer, the worker, and the disciple. And based on what what does that avatar look like for each of these as far as my customers go? So I don't know what you did, but you did a psychological thingamabobby.
That's what I do. Psychology of sales. That's what I do. That's why you don't get on the phone with me. That's why you do not get on the phone with me.
Yes, I remember. Every time I start talking to that Adonia, I was like, yeah, well, Antonio said he would have talked to you. Nope. Do not put me on the phone with that boy.
Exactly why.
I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm glad you're excited. Thank you for your feedback. Tracy, did you see what I did there? Can you see how I took your upset? She only wants the 197. But if she say for 197, you like everybody else, and then what you're doing is you're doing the goldfish thing I told you that the guy talked about. You're taking goldfish and throwing them in the thing. Then you done had them on the hook, and now you done shocked everybody and killed them. Child, if I had $197, I wouldn't be on this damn webinar.
You are talking to that.
Okay.
Man, I'm like, man, this is amazing. $1,500, man. If you don't go somewhere, man, I'm trying to change my life.
Every seeker is saying what Grace just said. You hear me? Literally. Okay, let's break down the responses. Do it again, Grace. Give us that response again. That's a seeker response. Give it to us, Grace.
Man, this is amazing. I am ready to hop on this with $1,500. I'm trying to change my life. I ain't got $1,500. What do you think I'm on here?
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, I got it. That's seekers, believers. Dang, $1,500. Okay. I can get it. I don't know what to do. I'm gonna pray. Oof, I'm getting nervous, but nope. Honey, come look at this real quick. I have believers. It's this. Yeah, I know what I'm talking about. We've been all of them before.
Come on, man. I need you to write this. You don't see what he's saying? Oh my God, how can you not? Oh my God. Just write the damn check. You needed to hear the whole thing. You needed to hear from the beginning.
For real. Right? And then you get to the workers. Okay. All right. Okay. 1,500. Yeah, I'm gonna get that. Don't worry about it. Can I get 2 weeks? Can I get 2 weeks? You got payments? Y'all got payments? How many payments? I don't matter. Don't worry about it. The credit card. You said credit card. Jan is good for that. Credit card. You got credit card. You do credit card. That's a worker. Disciple.
You
know. I'm trying to get y'all to get this. Easiest way. Yeah, because we know this, right? Like we've all been each one of these. And then $1,500, no problem. I want here's a check, one payment. Do you offer a discount for buying 2? I might bring my whole family in too. I'm not sure how you do something like that.
That's Jerome.
Do you do something like that? Well, we don't, but we can. Yeah. I like the can. Just tell me about the can. Okay, I'll get 3 of them for that price. Want information? No, you give it to me. Don't worry about it. You give it to me. That's disciples. And in every presentation, all those responses are there. And most of your audience, I'm not going to pay no $1,500. Hell, she thinks she is. Seekers. If they get nervous at the price, that's a believer. Give me 2 weeks. I had that done. Don't even worry about it. I had that done. I ain't got Phil's resources, but I got that hustle though from Phil. I'm gonna get it. Don't even worry about it. I can pay you next Friday. That's cool. Can I give you 309? And then on next Friday.
That's a worker. That's a worker.
That's Prophet Jerry and Renee. Easy. Antonio, what can I set up a meeting to go over our budget? Because we want to buy this in 12 months, but we ain't got it right now. But if you give us a budget, we're gonna do that. You understand? We're gonna do that. That's exactly what they did. That's exactly what they did. That's exactly what they did. Disciples really ain't got much talk. You know, so, I'm gonna take 3 of them, but blah 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 blah. Tracy, did I make it plain for you? Okay, she said yes. She said yes. Grace, I think I forgot to. No, go ahead.
I just want to say this. This is all I'm gonna say. This is all I'm saying. Then I'm be quiet. But do you know what you just did? You explained the whole walk through the Jerusalem, the pool of Bethesda. You just
All right, like, hey y'all, I need you really, really, genuinely, please, just try to get this here, just for me, try to get that timing. TD Jake said in that doggone video, almost made me punch him through the video. He said, you can have the greatest swing, perfect swing, but if you swinging too early, you're gonna miss. I almost punched him in the throat. Because I could think about all the times I swung too early with a perfect swing. Damn, God, it ain't working. It is working. You took your little ambitious self out there and swung too fast. How many of you know how to get in front of God's will like I do? I'm chief.
And here I am once again.
God be like, wait, wait, what kind of weight, God? What kind of weight you talking about? Like wait, or work while wait, or run weight, which I'm gonna do run weight. Okay, go ahead, Tracy. Did Grace.
Well, I was going to ask a question, but then you mentioned the thing about the swinging and the golf. So he also said something in there about.
I'm gonna play it again before we end. Don't worry. I'm gonna play the whole 10 minutes again.
When he was swinging, it's about timing too, but he's also said some of us, we so worried about the audience that we're not focused on the ball.
The ball.
So
right.
With that point, what would the ball be in this realm of reality?
No doubt. So let me break down the ball and the crowd reaction. You said you worry about the crowd reaction and the ball. The crowd reaction is keeping your head in your pocket. I tell Grace this all the time. Like in your particular field, you want to charge because I got these bills. Amen. Am I not the only human?
Amen.
Okay.
Amen.
All right. I got $20,000 credit card. Somebody got to pay for it. That's the crowd reaction. You understand? That's that crowd reaction. That's when you develop products, and then you develop products to change the world, but then your circumstances change. So your presentation now changes. Now your presentation is all about converting and not caring. Adonia warns y'all against this all the time. If you care, you'll convert. If you convert, they're not gonna care to help you. All right. So what's the ball for Adonia, for Adrian, for Tracy? Y'all got the same business. Janice, same business. Hers technical though. Melissa, same business. Hers is manufacturing and technical. But y'all got the same, and the human consultants. Y'all all got, and Jerome, y'all all got the same business. All of you. It is in some way, I'm selling what I know. Is that okay? I'm an expert at this. And I've learned how to monetize it. Yeah, I've got the same business. Just to be clear, you're not collecting money. You're literally selling what you know, and you're going to get paid more the better you are than anybody else. And you make sure up front your audience knows I am better than everybody else. You're not saying that, but you deliver that with value. Yeah, I got the same business. So what is the ball when you have the business of selling what you know? This is where you have to have the originals. Hulu original, Netflix original, Hulu original, Netflix original, Disney original. Disney Plus is so successful. It's actually passing up the revenue of Netflix now. You know why? Because Disney Plus is full of Disney originals. It ain't nothing else. Do you understand how much profit margin you make when it's yours? Y'all don't know it, but it's somebody famous. I would call them famous. They did a thing, and I'm gonna tell you what it was. Y'all, because y'all know these people. And they're famous for this thing. They're famous for this thing. On TV, on like, it's a TED Talk. Okay, let me just say it's a TED Talk. TED Talks are famous, aren't they? Yes. I wrote the whole damn thing. Every single word. They a whole celebrity with a whole following. I wrote a whole keynote. And you know what I did? You know why it's so famous? Because I invented something that's never been done before. Their keynote not only is original, it has an original. See, I'm arguing not for me being awesome, arguing for the reason why this keynote is so fly. It's because it has a original thing to it. So that means Adonia needs the keep method. Like the human soldiers have Kanoching. You see it? The Kanoching originals. And then you have a whole bunch of things that you can only get from you. Remember, the ball, Tracy, for y'all is I can get books anywhere. Melissa, I can get self-help anywhere. Tracy, you hear me? I get self-help anywhere. If I tell you that I genuinely, there's a different person, we know him. Sorry, I had to get that out.
That you do that, I roll like that.
If I tell you 4 or 5 of their promotional things, I wrote that too. Now, they're fantastic on the keynotes. I can't do nothing about that. Only one of them. But it's very hard to sell something when it's not in your gift. You understand what I'm saying? When you got to do cryptocurrency now, you can't come over here with motivation. You got to be able to say something. I specialize at that. I got a whole hard drive of this. I'm looking for some stuff to send to somebody who sent me an email because they're looking for something. I'm gonna send it. Tracy, the ball is your originals, your Netflix originals, your Tracy originals. Yes, you got self-help, but there should be your Lisa Nichols Abundance Life now. You need your Grant Cardone's 10X. You need your Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich. Your Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad, Poor Dad. If you look up his company, it's called Rich Dad. Grace, do me a favor, pull up Rich Dad, Poor Dad images. Just do it in front of all of us, and I get your question. This is very important. Tracy asks, what's the ball? This is very important. It's very important. I'm going to end because Deanna and I believe Susan got an 11, so I want to make sure they get on by 11. Oh, okay, look, you see it? Janice got it. She got it. She's got it. She actually got the book. Put Rich Dad Poor Dad and then put images real quick, Grace. I'm trying to show just okay. And just now put images. And if you look, just blow up and it says Rich Dad. If you just like, go to actual picture now, not the prices. Like go to actual picture and just blow that. Just hit one of those pictures. Don't matter. You see it says Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Grace, now type in cash flow quadrant. Now go to images. Just go right there on the audio book. It's just fine. Don't matter. Well, no. I want the book cover. I want the book cover. And as you can see, it doesn't matter. It don't matter. If you go on the book cover, it said, look, what's over? Can you tell me what's over cash flow quadrant on this book cover, Grace?
Rich Dads.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Because Rich Dad, Poor Dad became the brand Rich Dad. So it's Rich Dads presents Cash Flow Quadrant. Tyler Perry presents all that stuff. Shonda Rhimes presents all that stuff. Jerry Bruckheimer presents all that stuff. You know, if you see Jerry Bruckheimer, that show is going to be good. It's going to be 100 episodes. It's going to keep you locked in for 6 years. Lost. Fringe.
Dick Wolf is
CSI.
CSI. Dick Wolf. Dick Wolf. Dick Wolf is
Law and Order. Law and Order.
Chicago PD.
Boston Legal.
Boston Legal, and then the fire one, Chicago PD. That's Dick Wolf. That you need that, Tracy. I'm answering your question. You need that. That's the ball. If you're selling what you know, you need your Dick Wolf. You do. You just need it. So there has to be.
I'm sorry. Sidebar, just a little bit. Did you see what Dick Wolf did while the writers were on strike?
No, I did not. What did he do?
He now has just started an original. So now it's in the life of the 911 people and in the life of the real firefighters. So instead of having it to be
writers,
there's now a new show where it's like documentaries because now they're talking about their real live stories. And so I was like, oh shit, wow. So everybody's got repeats right now. He's the only one that just released I think it comes out today, actually at 8:00. Like it's the first one. But I realized he did that while all the writers were on strike because everybody's now in repeat and playing game shows. But he got a brand new show coming out. It starts at 8:00. But it's the life of the real life firefighters and 911 people.
Smart. Remember, I told you there's going to be a pushback for the writers thing this time. Writers deserve everything. Don't get it twisted, but it's going to be a pushback because artificial intelligence exists now. And reality TV is still extremely consumable.
But isn't it over? I think it's over. Did y'all hear that it was over?
Don't know. I will check. Grace, you can check. Oh, actually, no, Dana, you can check because Grace got a question. Grace, ask your question.
What's the best way to reach? I may have missed. What's the best way to reach believers and disciples?
I'm gonna cover that tomorrow.
Okay.
Yep, I'm gonna cover this. And I need to define disciples. I need to define believers as well.
No, that's $197.
So that's it. That's it. You hear that, Grace? For $197.
I heard it.
You know, for $197. Grace, if you just step to the back for $197.
One of my people in the back will,
I'm telling you, there's a TED Talk out there completely written by Antonio T. Smith Jr. I think it's a blah, blah, blah. I'm not gonna tell you what time it is. And you all know the person because they're famous. This is not hard. This is not hard. But the reason the TED Talk is good is because it has its Tracy method in it. It has its Tracy method in it. So I need y'all to give, as we conclude, that at some point, you have to have what you're known for. It has to be really good and really original, but effective. Gary V, Vayner Media, selling things through empathy. Empathy Wines, his wine company. That's why Antonio has Rhino Leg. Rhino, what I'm working on now is I decided to take Burn Chat and make it a whole big deal independent for Rhino Leg. It's going to be inside and independent like Facebook Messenger. Go ahead, Law. You look spiffy today too.
Thank you, thank you very much. I have a question about that. How do you figure out what that is? I think I'm going through that process now. Because I want to produce more content and be more consistent. And I've kind of been wrestling, well, what the hell do I put out there? I mean, I know the one thing that I do consistently is my rocket power. So that seems to be my consistent content, and people like it and they respond to it.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm leaning toward that. That makes sense.
No, it makes good sense. I'm gonna answer your question with all my maturity and spirituality, because I think that's the only real answer that works instead of the other stuff. There's two answers. I want to warn y'all first with the first answer, because that's what Law's going through, Adonia's going through. As you grow, the thing that made you is boring now.
I had a feeling you was going here.
And what you lose your fire.
Wait, is that
for
boring to yourself or boring to other people?
No,
Is
no,
it
to
boring
yourself.
Okay.
Like it's to you. Like you do comedy videos, and then all of a sudden now you're on TV with Denzel Washington. And what happens is you lose your fire for the comedy videos, not because they're lower, because everybody's doing the same stuff. And when you're truly growing and when you truly care about what you do, but you recognize everybody just swapping the same ideas now, you lose fire for that. Every vlog is about going to Tulum in the same places. You lose fire for that. And when you lose that fire, that's that first step. So if you're in, I'm gonna get feel. If you are in to where you like, I just can't get motivated, that's because you're growing. And what you're doing don't feed you no more. Go ahead, Phil.
Well, and then another aspect of it, they asked Johnny Carson, how do you do this every night? You've been doing this X amount of days, X amount of years. How do you keep it fresh? He says, I remind myself every time, for most of the people in this audience, this is the first and only time they're going to be at the Tonight Show.
Wow. That reminds me of Joel Osteen. That's got that same energy. For 20 something years now, he's been meeting people after every sermon, because most of those people going to meet him for the first time.
And only.
Only. That's why a lot of great basketball players don't like to take games off, because most of those people saved up lifetime of money.
Thank you, Mr. Bill, because
that was deep.
Going back and having to do a play that you've done already, and it's like, I thought that the first time I did it was the best time, and now we have to do it again. I appreciate you for saying that, because the people that are going to be in the audience, that'll be the first time that they hear. So how I rehearsed it, because I'm like, Lord, I got to change this. I got to do it different. But thank you. I appreciate that.
Yep. Absolutely. Law, did you want to say something else?
No, at least I don't think so. So
okay, I still got number two for you. I still got number two for you. Okay. Number one, if y'all get to where Law is, you're growing and the stuff you did don't feed you. Just is what it is. It just is what it is. You're not demotivated. You're demotivated that you're not being pushed and stretched like you used to be. That's what's demotivating you. Just receive that. Don't internalize it. And like, wait, tell me make content. I don't know why I'm not listening. No, you are listening. You're just not stretched by that content. The same way I feel about not going back to clients, it's the same way you feel about not doing that video. It's not malicious. You want to be stretched. You want to grow. Number two, more accurately for law, I wish I can answer how do you come up with your little method or your original thing. I'll give you what Bob Proctor gave me. That's all I can do here. Bob Proctor, in his book called Magnet to Money, which I bought on CD, just to give you an idea. Like it got mailed to me, double disc CD that you open up. That's a long time ago now. That you open up. And I put it in my CD player for the age feel of Library on Wheels. Yeah, I remember that. Okay, that age. That age. The Magnet to Money. And in there, he's trying to tell you how to create multiple streams of income. And he says, I can't tell you how money is going to flow to you. I can just tell you that if you listen to me, it will flow easily and frequently to you. So you need to find a place that you go to every day for an hour, no minimum than an hour. Whatever that place is, and it needs to be away from you being isolated, and it needs to be public. And people need to see you in that place sitting there. And what you're going to do is you're just going to ask the universe, give me my stream of income. Give me what I'm doing next. And then Bob Proctor said in this book, and you're not going to get it. But I don't have you there to get it. I have you there for you to saturate that place with energy every day to where people start asking you. So tell me your name. Why are you here? And you tell them, I am building my multiple streams of income. And let all that energy flow. And then at some point, the universe will give it to you, and you will have no doubt that's what you were supposed to be doing. That's all I can give you, Law. Yeah, that's Bob Proctor.
Okay, received on that tip. I don't think I have done the place of where.
Mine was Starbucks. Mine was Starbucks.
Yours was Starbucks.
Mine was Starbucks.
Mine's was, I guess, when I started on this journey, it was the gym. Because I wrote CDL, I wrote in the gym. I was there for 6 months, 6 to 9 months straight, every day on that computer. And mind you, I got a MacBook at home, but I was there. So that's where that experience started. But I think I had a coming to Jesus moment on what it is that I wanted to and what I want to offer into the world. And one of those things is I've been doing a lot of casting calls lately, and it's I'm starting to get some traction. I've been applying to a couple of shows or what have you.
Yeah.
And someone actually called me back for a new show that's actually coming up too. So I'm excited in that aspect because I'm open to reality TV, but I'm
stretching you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I'm open to reality.
You catch agents' attention for sure.
But my heart has always been in commercials. It's always been in hosting, things of those nature. So I'm putting more of my energy there as opposed to being frustrated about the lack of. So just put myself out there, and traction is coming. So I'm happy with that.
No doubt, no doubt. Good for you. Good for you. Keep that traction coming. Y'all sit there and let the universe give you. If you cannot get this idea, you're just being stretched, and you don't like that you're no longer being stretched. I'm going to copy and paste what this guy is sending me. Right here. Fanny is his name. And I want you to listen. I need y'all to go back to this spirit. I really do. These are my final words. Grace, you're going to read Antonio. Deanna, you're going to read Fanny. And I'm making sure, y'all will probably meet one day, I don't know, who knows. But I'm making sure that this is respectable, and I'm not putting any information out, but I am using him as an example. Let's see, I'll put little spaces here for you. No, I'm not going to do that. Y'all going to have to figure it out. Okay. I'm not going to do that. Just bam. Antonio T. Smith Jr., 905 says, how are you today? Right there. So whoever I said is Antonio, and whoever is Fanny, y'all go.
How are you today?
Very good, sir. How are you?
I'm so sorry. I am very happy to, well, no.
No,
Wait
that's
a
it.
minute.
I am very happy to hear that.
Oh, very good, sir. Oh, no. Oh, I'm very happy to hear that. Let's get started with your mentorship. What would you like to accomplish in the next 30 days?
Sir, I will enter your mentorship as a newborn child. Like anything you say. If you order to complete an accomplishment in the next 30 days, I have to complete it. Whatever you say, I will do it. That is the most minimum respect towards you in this mentorship.
Stop right
Wow.
there.
Wow.
I've already gave him instructions. My final words. Now, I don't know your religion, and I don't really care because you're doing a good job in your religion, whatever it is. And I approve, even though you don't need my approval. But I do remember what it feels like, Jerome, to have that encounter with God. You know, when you first get it, Tracy, something about it, you lose your pen. Oh, God, help me find my pen. You know what I'm talking about? And yeah. Oh, I can't find a remote. Lord, show me, reveal the remote to me. Who know what I'm talking about? You know, you get there and you're just so excited to be humble in this big experience of where you're going. You got no resistance, and you just know that there's something greater than you that you're connected to and communicating with, and it feels good. And here's what I know, Janice. Blessings came easily and frequently when you was in that state. Y'all remember when you was a newborn, whatever it was, Christian, Muslim, whatever, you was broke as hell, wasn't you? But you owned more than you could afford. Come on now. You had less money than you ever had, Janice, but more things than you ever did in your life. And every day should have killed you, Tracy. And every day you got out of it. Some of y'all have no idea how you ate for the last 2 years, but you sure enough did. Never missed it. But people will come up to you, Janice, I don't know. God just told me to give you $20. Baby, you want to eat? No, come on, come eat. You did right at the right time. That humility to connect it to something higher, whatever that may be. It's the no resistance and being so happy and submitted to no resistance. That's what caused that money to come easily and frequently to you. If you forget nothing else, being happily submissive to no resistance is what caused all that great stuff. Go back there. Surrender. Well said. Surrender. All right, Deanna, you have your meeting with Susan Hart, and I took up a little bit of time. Hopefully it's been blessed to you. We will go back over this same subject tomorrow, Grace. Then we're gonna pick up with the 1 and 3 or the 2 and 4, whatever it is. And I want to go and we'll talk about that, and we'll do just a little bit of review. But Tracy, we're gonna keep going until the money shows up in your bank account. Antonio T. Smith Jr., you can't plant better, you can't dominate. Thank you so much, everybody. Love you, everybody.
Love you more.
Love you more.
All right, y'all. Y'all have a good one.
Love you more.